Welcome to the Stay List.
No. I wanted it to show my face.
Join. Execute Order 66.
Let's do it again. This sucks.
Welcome everybody to episode 4 of the Stay List. Thanks for coming back. It's been 2 weeks since we've actually recorded. We double recorded last week because we went to Disney for 5 days.
Yes, we did.
So we essentially got some in the bucket, edited everything so that way everything came out on the Mondays like it's supposed to, and we had a blast. We did 4 days in Disney, right?
Four days across 4 parks.
That's
so
right, yeah.
each day, each park got a day dedicated to it.
Yeah. So we started with
Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom, which is amazing, and then went to
Hollywood Studios.
yeah, which was cool.
And then, yeah, we've mixed reviews on Hollywood Studios.
I mean, I'm obviously a huge Star Wars fan, and the Star Wars part was really cool. Other than that, hit and miss. It's probably a biased opinion. I'm sure a lot of people won't agree with me on that one, but
I also, maybe I should say, I used to work at Disney.
Yep.
And then if you've ever heard of the Disney College program, it's like this perfect scam to make a bunch of young adults love this company and also have like memories and emotion tied to this place that costs a lot of money. So we went and also got to hang out with like some of my friends from the program. And,
yeah, which was cool.
yeah, and like I got to show Skylar around, like where I worked and things like that. So that was a big purpose of the trip, and then Sky had never been, so we thought we'd plan this trip, and it ended up being great. But yes, Studios was our second day. I would say, like, when I did my program in 2017, like the Toy Story Land wasn't there, Galaxy's Edge wasn't there, and so even watching Hollywood Studios evolve, it really hasn't reached what I think it wants to be, but it's getting there.
I could see that. Pardon my language, but Hollywood Studios seemed like a clusterfuck to me.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they don't really understand what they want. But it was cool. I think that the Star Wars park, the part of the park was kind of a letdown in a sense to me because it felt like more of like a shopping mall.
Yeah.
In which we've talked about this, but I feel like if you want to be immersed in the Star Wars like time frame that they're trying to portray, then I feel like they need more Star Wars characters. Like everything was scheduled. Everything was like meet Darth Vader at noon, and
Yeah.
I feel like you should just be walking around, or not the main ones maybe, but at least like some weird aliens or like a stormtrooper or two. You know, something like that.
It does. It feels very regimented, and space is not regimented.
No.
You can't schedule space.
It's actual chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I will never go.
that's right.
Jeff Bezos, you keep your fucking
Keep that
thing
rock.
away from me.
Keep that thing away from me. Yeah, same Jeff Bezos. And then, so day 3 was
Magic Kingdom.
which
That's
was
where
really
I
fun.
worked.
Yeah, that was really fun. And you worked at the
Pinocchio Village House.
Yeah.
So we got to go and check in there. Everybody's doing great.
Yeah.
They're still whipping up pizzas.
Yeah.
And
Flatbreads.
And flatbreads.
Yeah.
And we watched the fireworks. We got
Which
to
was
hang out
great.
with the girls I did my program with. And then on Saturday,
We went to Epcot.
and we balled out.
Oh, I loved Epcot.
Yeah, Epcot was so fun.
Okay, so this is my take from the whole trip. I'm not a Disney adult. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the Disney movies, like, you know, especially all the 90s movies. And,
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't say that I, like, dive deep into all the other stuff that they have. But I will say that going to Disney as an adult without children, a blast.
Oh, yeah.
An absolute blast, especially Epcot.
Yeah.
I don't think they should even allow kids at Epcot.
Maybe
That's
because
my
the
hot
way
take.
we were acting.
Oh, yeah.
I hope that a kid did not see us.
So if you don't know what Epcot is, then essentially it's, I mean, for layman's terms, first time I was there, I can break it down to you very easily. Huge lake, massive lake, big circle all the way around the lake, and 11 countries?
Yes, good job.
11 countries have what they call pavilions, but I would say like a town. That's essentially towns. What are you laughing about? Is that not true?
No, I'm laughing because you just said that you're not a Disney adult.
Well, I heard
But
it for
the
5
lingo,
days.
the lingo that you're using is spot on. You could be giving a pitch at the D23 conference right now, but I'm sorry, keep going.
Well, I told you that I met some nice Canadian people that have never been to Disney, and they talked my ear off, and I had to give them recommendations on which parks to go to. You remember me telling you that?
When?
When we were at the Polynesian with...
Oh my gosh, that's right, with Amber and Gio.
Yeah, with Amber and Gio. Yeah, I met a nice Canadian couple that had their kids with them.
Shout out to them.
Yeah,
I hope they're watching.
Hopefully they're watching, but I guess I fit the part. I guess I don't know. They asked me which parks that I've been to or wanted to go to or hadn't seen, and I told them, go to Animal Kingdom if you got kids for sure. Leave your kids at home. Go to Epcot and get nice and toasty. So essentially Epcot, 11 countries, big circle. Each country has their like specific cocktails or beers, and then also has 5 or 6, I would say, like foods, some more, some less.
Some have full restaurants,
Yeah.
others have more just like walk-up booths or quick service restaurants.
Yeah, which was awesome. I mean, I had a great time. We took a bunch of videos and watched the fireworks there too, which was, I think, was better than Magic Kingdom. I know. I liked the water that they used with that.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I will say one, like everything you're saying is exactly right. I think one enhancement that I want to add is that each of the 11 pavilions like was built or closely supervised by their home country. So like Morocco had a lot of decision power over the Moroccan pavilions, same with France.
Which was cool.
Yes.
Really cool.
So
You could tell.
You can feel that they weren't all built by the same one American person.
And the employees in each country are...
Cast members.
Oh, cast members, sorry. The cast members of each country are from that country, right?
Yeah. So they do what they call the International College Program, and that's not the only way that they get cast members in Epcot, but it's a great way to replenish cast members directly from France for the French pavilion, from China for the Chinese pavilion, and it really immerses then the guest while they're there. It's really
cool.
Amazing, and it's such a unique idea. You would never think that you need that, and I think that's why it makes it so fun.
Well, and I think the reason why it makes it so fun is because you don't see Minnie Mouse walking around either.
Oh, you could though if you knew where to look.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say that though, but like, I think that the reason why I liked Epcot so much is because there wasn't much Disney to it.
Yeah, there was there's little IP in Epcot.
Which, I don't mind it, but I mean, obviously Magic Kingdom's made for that.
Yeah.
And they shove it down your throat. Which I
But
expected.
that's what it's there for.
I expected that, so, you know. And we actually got this, so it was Festival of the Arts while we were at Epcot, which I think goes on for a while, right? A couple months?
Yeah, it goes on like January, February.
So we got this, which is Alan Fox made this.
Yeah.
And it's a painting of Taylor Swift that Sarah bought, or I bought for Sarah, I think, right?
I think you did buy it for me.
And he even signed it for us. And he misspelled my name, but that's okay. But he wrote it right on the back. So he signed it on the back, and then we had him sign it on the front,
Alan Fox wanted to keep us guessing.
Yeah,
He
it's
didn't
totally
want to give us big heads.
Which I thought was cool because it gives a like synopsis of him on the back, and he like started at Disney as a graphic designer, and on here it says that he did the graphics and animations for Stitch's Great Escape Mission Space.
Yes, yeah.
So he did a lot of like drawings of Stitch and stuff like that, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shout out to Alan Fox. His Instagram is Alan underscore Fox2X's underscore studios. So shout out to him.
Yeah, we'll
I love
tag
this.
him.
We're going to keep that back here. But also, if you couldn't read the front, it says Skylar or it says Sarah and, how would you pronounce it? Skylar, yeah. Sarah and
Based
Skylar.
on his spelling.
Yeah. Congrats on your engagement. So, yes, by the way,
we got engaged.
We got engaged at Disney. So I am a full-fledged Disney adult now. I didn't do it in front of the castle or anything like that. We did it the first day that we got there. It was still a fun ride, though.
It was perfect.
We did it at like a little photo booth.
Yeah.
I surprised the hell out of her with it, for sure.
It was very fun. It was perfect because then we got to basically kick off our trip that way, and then the rest of the time just enjoy and celebrate and just eat and drink and hang out with friends and ride rides and see shows. It was great. It was
and build lightsabers.
very relaxing. Yes.
And I will be showing my lightsaber here shortly.
Good. I'm glad.
But as we do,
yeah, are you still with us? If you've listened this far,
yeah,
then you know that we are the Staylist Show, I hope. We are a show where Skylar and I are a couple, now an engaged couple.
Ooh, fiancé.
We are fiancés, and we have very different music tastes. Each week we are introducing the other to an album that we personally love, and that person that is listening for the first time gets to choose tracks from that week's album to join our stay list. And this season 1, we're doing a driving stay list, which is a playlist to listen to in the car.
Yeah, and by the way, for that, you can actually be a part of the driving stay list yourself. Now, this isn't just for us. It's for everybody. If it was just for us, the camera would not be on.
True.
We would not really care. It is essentially for us, but we want to make it for everybody. If you want to listen to the playlist and the songs that we've added so far, kind of keep it on your Spotify. While you're on our page on Spotify, you can click More Like This, and there's actually the Driving Staylist Season 1. Or if you wanted to go to Spotify search, just type in the Driving Staylist, Staylist.
Beautiful.
Parentheses Season 1. It should pop up by the time you pop that or type that in, though.
Yeah.
But it will have in parentheses Season 1. Go save it to your playlists, and it will autofill, and you'll still have it. You won't have to re-download it. It'll do its own thing.
Yeah.
So if you want to join that, go ahead. I mean, it's there for the taking.
Baby, should we talk about why we're in robes today for those that are viewing?
Why are we in robes, actually?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Please explain to the people.
I thought I was going to put this on you. So it's Friday night. It's kind of late. It's 9:45.
Yeah.
That's late for me. And tomorrow morning we're waking up super early. We're going to move the rest of Skylar's stuff here.
Yep. Not much left, but
not
a
much
little
left, but kind of the last of his things. And so we have been up cleaning and making space. I should say, really, Skylar has been doing that, and I've been listening to the album.
We've been doing it together.
Thank you for giving me any credit in that.
I'll give you your flowers, girl.
Thank you. And so now we are trying to get cozy because immediately after this we're going to bed because we have an early morning tomorrow.
But I'm wearing jeans, so.
And I'm wearing little
nothing.
biker shorts.
She's wearing nothing.
I'm wearing biker shorts. And we're waking up early tomorrow. We're going to move his stuff, and Sky's mom is coming. So shout out to Beth. We love her.
Yeah. We're going to go have a little dinner and celebrate a little bit of our fiancé titles.
Fiancé ship.
Fiancé ship. Oui, pee.
Something like that. So
let's get to it.
Last week, it was my turn to choose the album. I chose Plastic Hearts by Miley Cyrus. I hope that you all enjoyed listening to that. I think it was one that I think bridges our interests.
Yeah. We had a lot of good feedback from that album.
We did.
Everybody liked it.
Yeah, I love what we're starting to see is like my friends are reaching out and saying, I've never heard of like Days of the New, which Skylar chose last time. and they loved it. And then same with some of Sky's friends are like, yeah, I never would have listened to Miley Cyrus, and I love this album. And so that's what this is all about. We know that the idea of two people, one being a rock fan, the other being more of like a pop fan, this isn't a new thing.
No.
And trying to find music that goes between in the middle, or like is in the middle of that Venn diagram, that's not revolutionary. So it's exciting that other people are enjoying it, but
No,
we
I
need
agree.
to get into this week's album.
So this
Go
week's
ahead.
album is Stone Temple Pilots. As you see from my T-shirt, I had to wear my STP shirt, obviously.
Course.
Core by Stone Temple Pilots. So let me read our producer notes, aka Wikipedia, quoting
Yes.
you.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
So, Core is the debut studio album. Debut? Yeah, debut studio album of the American rock band Stone Temple Pilots. It was released by Atlantic Records on September 29th, 1992.
Okay.
Just shy of my birthday. Just shy of it.
You said September 29th.
Just shy of it. Just a little bit forward of my birthday.
You were born...
In June. Just shy of it.
No, you were born 3 months earlier.
My birthday was just shy of it, regardless. It was produced by Brendan O'Brien. Core displays the band's inspiration of alternative rock, which at that point in time, fun fact, any of these bands at this point in time in like 91, 92, 90, the term grunge was not by these bands.
Interesting.
The term grunge was by the news and people trying to sell this new sound.
Like the media.
Yeah, the media.
Yes.
So these bands actually hated the term grunge.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Grunge was pigeonholing these bands into the sound of like the Seattle sound is what they called it. And it just happened to be that a lot of these bands were from Seattle, at the start, Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and
Nirvana.
Screaming Trees and Nirvana and like a lot of these bands. And Stone Temple Pilots wasn't from Seattle, but they, kind of had that similar sound. So they got thrown into that grunge sound, which, now that we're in 2024, the year of our Lord, yeah, we call it grunge, but to a like respected fan of the music, grunge is kind of a slang, kind of a bad word. In a
Really?
sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which, it doesn't really bother me, but because that's a style now, and it's like a, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, back then it was not a preferred word by any means.
You know what's interesting is I feel like I always have like something to say about pop, but I feel like
That's your background, so
Yes,
you should. That's the
but
point of this, actually.
I know that's the actual point of this podcast. I actually feel like the word pop to describe pop music can be seen that way because I think about like
It's just a short for popular.
right,
correct?
but it's like I think about like Lady Gaga in particular.
Lady Gaga.
Sure, as she's known to some of her fancier fans.
Me.
Like when she first came on the scene, yes, it's a lot of like synth and I don't, it's a lot of, that like poppy sound, and people labeled her as pop. And she cannot break free of that, even though now her fans really know that even though the sound is similar, she is an artist and is doing more than just
Well, I would say she's
quote unquote pop.
I would say she's a little bit off more the cuff than pop. I mean, she's got some songs that sound in that pop sound, but she's definitely different.
But
so I
it's
agree.
like, once you get labeled as pop, it's really hard to, I mean, Taylor Swift, you take like Folklore and Evermore, which are folksy, and her debut album and Fearless, which are more country, but it's ultimately she's a pop star.
Yeah.
And it's hard to break free of that. So that's an interesting parallel.
Yeah. Well, as, I would say that the start of pop music, I would say that probably started with like Michael Jackson. I would say that was like the king of pop. I mean, that's what they called him, so.
Let me think about that.
He's the king of pop. I mean,
Of course, yeah.
I mean, I guess there would have been pop prior for him to be the king of it. But anyways, we're getting off topic
There's no
here.
king without a kingdom.
That's right. So anyways, where was I? Diverse range of heavy metal and acoustic influences from the 70s, in contrast to their dark, sludgy sound seen by the rising grunge scene. The lyrical content covers a range of gloomy topics such as loss, innocence, relationships, confusion, and religion. So as we go through this album, you'll be able to tell those concepts for sure in a lot of these songs.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say about Scott Weiland, which is the lead singer, and I would say probably wrote a lot of the lyrics, if not most. He's a phenomenal, wordsmith. I think he leaves the songs open for interpretation a lot. And I think that there's 5 avenues that you can go down with all of these songs in this album.
Yeah.
And I think they're really fun. So, I mean, yeah, that's the synopsis of it. I mean, it's a pretty decently length album. It's 53 minutes. And let's jump right in.
All right.
So
Going track by track.
Going track by track. Song number 1 is Sex Type Things. Or no.
Dead and Bloated.
I'm sorry. I was reading something else here.
It's sex type things?
Yeah. That's one of the songs.
I know.
So Dead and Bloated, yes, is the first song on the album. So I'm going to let you take over from here.
Dead and Bloated, I really like. I think it's a really good opener to the album. It hits really hard. It definitely reminds me of it. If I heard it without knowing any of the background, I would say, yes, this is like a 90s band. But you can hear the influence from older rock bands and that 60s, 70s kind of rock and
God, there's a reason I wanted to marry you. I know it.
So I really liked it. I felt like it sets the tone well, and that's what you want in an opener. I felt like the imagery is definitely grotesque in terms of thinking about the word bloated.
Yeah, well, dead and bloated together.
Right, like a corpse.
Yeah. Which the song lyrics don't really lead to that, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. I don't think that the song word-wise is grotesque.
No,
I would think that, but I agree with you, though.
Just the word bloated, I think in any
it's never
in
good.
any context, I'd never want to hear.
Yeah, bloated is never a good term.
Never what you want to hear.
Yeah.
It's actually what cut this out.
No, we're not. We're keeping it. Enjoy that. So what'd you think about it?
I really liked it.
Do you want the people to listen to it?
Oh, the people need to listen to it. Yeah.
I mean, it's the start of the album.
It's the start of the album.
I feel like the first song of any album that we ever do, I feel like has to be played.
Yeah. I feel like this one especially. This one, when I think of the album, I think of this song. So.
Well, and you can't miss when you hear this here in a second, when he first starts talking, his voice is going to sound really weird, and it's because he has his microphone at the end of a megaphone.
In this song? I thought that was the live version.
No, it's in general. That's how he recorded it.
Really?
He has a megaphone, and he's screaming through a megaphone into the microphone to make his voice sound like that.
Dang.
It's so cool.
All right, so go ahead, listen to Dead and Bloated by Stone Temple Pilots, and we'll be here when you get back.
All right. You just heard Dead and Bloated by STP, Stone
Temple Pilots.
Yeah.
So.
Great song.
It's a great song.
Love it.
It really gets you revved up for the rest of the album.
That's right.
And the next song is Sex Type Thing.
Yep.
I also love this one.
Ooh.
And here's what's fun is if I had heard this song kind of maybe in a vacuum, I probably wouldn't have liked it because it's super macho.
Yeah.
But then in knowing more and doing more research on Scott, right? Scott Weiland.
Yep.
And learning that he's a little bit more of a showman and a storyteller, and you can feel that he's being ironic in this song, which then it makes the song totally different to me.
Well, so the lyrics of this song are a little risque, I would say. There's interviews all over about him talking about this song, that he's definitely playing on the macho side of America at the point, or just in general of the world. How we've, back in the 90s for sure, how how toxic masculinity was at that point.
Which he was ahead of his time.
For sure. I mean, if you ever watch any videos of Scott Weiland, I honestly think that he did the things that he did on stage and dressed the way he did and acted the way he did. It's so fluid. It's so like in your face. And if somebody was to do it nowadays, I would say it would be like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of your pop guys. Like, what's his name?
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles, yeah. Scott Weiland walked so that Harry Styles could run. For sure. I mean, if you watch videos of Scott Weiland, shout out to Emily Weiland's cousin, Scott Weiland. Sorry, that's one of our friends here. But shout out to you, Emily.
Yeah, tell Scott. Well, never mind.
Yeah, tell him hi.
Tell him, yeah, hi.
But anyways, no, he'd always be shirtless, and he'd always wear a lot of leather and leather pants and big aviators and a police hat and a megaphone and always really fluid dancing. And I mean, he was ahead of his time for sure. And he made it like really fucking cool. I mean, to be honest, like I feel like he added masculinity to something that's very feminine.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Tell me if I'm way off base.
Okay.
Do you remember in School of Rock?
Uh-huh.
The guy, Spider, who they replaced Jack Black with, and he's wearing that little leather.
Oh, it's a joke. They're.
Is that a joke on
100%.
Scott Weiland? My gosh.
I mean, it's not a joke on him, but I'd say that they're definitely portraying him.
Yeah, they're like trying to...
Yeah, because remember the song that he sings? It's very like...
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's
Oh,
definitely...
this is all coming to me in a dream.
It's definitely Scott Weiland.
Because when you said like the leather, but it's still like grungy and rock, like that made me think of School of Rock and Spider.
That pulled that out of my head because I honestly didn't remember that. But yeah, Spider. Good job. I need to watch that movie again.
It's so
Great
good.
movie.
So good. Shout out to School of Rock. Thank you, Jack Black.
So sex type things, you liked it.
I liked it a lot. And I don't know like what else to say about the song other than
it's very catchy.
It's very catchy, and I think listen to it as if you have no idea who this band is, what they're trying to say. It just comes on the radio.
Yeah.
And then maybe even give it one more listen and listen to it as if like a Harry Styles like person is singing it.
Sure.
Who is clearly, like making a statement on toxic masculinity. Either way, I need the people to listen to it.
Oh, perfect. Well, I will say one thing. My buddy A-Town listens to this podcast quite a bit.
Yes, he does.
On his way to work. He shouted us out one time. We put him on our Instagram. This is probably one of his favorite songs.
Really?
Close to it. I wouldn't say it's his favorite, but it's definitely one he jams all the time.
Okay.
Me and him jammed it as kids or younger, you know. So, A-Town, this one's for you. Sex type things.
Here you go.
Stone Temple Pilots.
All right, welcome back. That was Sex Type Thing by Stone Temple Pilots.
Yes, it was.
I keep wanting to say Pirates, which would also be a sick band name.
Stone Temple Pirates. I get it.
Stone Temple Pirates.
Yeah.
It's not a bad band name.
No, Stone Temple Pirates. I dig it.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's sick.
But yes, Stone Temple Pilots. And next up, Wicked Garden.
Yep. Wicked Garden, it's a cool one. I like that song a lot. It's, the words are interesting. It's kind of like a deep dive into like the loss of innocence. Mm-hmm. So take it as you will with what that would mean. But I think that that's like the premise of the whole song.
Yeah.
It's neat.
It's really cool. And like...
It's a catchy song too. I mean, it's...
The imagery of Wicked Garden. Yeah. Like just those words together also definitely evoke something in your mind as you're listening to it before it even begins. Like,
well, and I would think that Wicked Garden is kind of the start of the setup of why the album has the album art and the name.
Yeah.
So this album is pretty much based around Eve stealing the apple from the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
So that's why it's called core, because of like the apple core, you know. So I think Wicked Garden kind of starts with that. Like it kind of starts that idea of like the loss of innocence and Eve eating the apple.
Original sin, baby.
Yeah, the original sin and things like that. which there's a lot of themes, going through this album of like organized religion and some touchy subjects. And that was, I think that that's something that a lot of people misconstrue about this type of music, is because the 90s was way different than it was now. And we were able and open to talk about things that weren't good, and they weren't like a daily conversation.
Tell me more.
I mean, like just tough, tough categories. I mean, like the loss of innocence and organized religion and violence and cruelty and things like that. I mean, I feel like that nowadays it's a little harder to talk about topics like that, which I get it.
Well,
but I think that when this music was being made, that those were hot topics, and those were things that bands were trying to get across on their opinions without shoving them in your face.
Yeah, I also think it's interesting to think about a time that maybe this would have been a more open conversation without you choosing sides and that's it. But that's an interesting thought, that like in the 90s maybe there was more outspokenness, because I think now there's a lot of people that are outspoken but about different things. Like I think about TikTok and the way like people call out, it's a lot more like capitalistic calling out now, I think.
Sure.
Like they call out, Gen Z is like big on, they don't want to be influenced by
corporate
product placement and like downright ads and things like that.
I don't think a lot of that's changed from 90s to now. I mean, when you dig into a lot of these albums, a lot of them were, fuck the corporate world. I mean, Rage Against the Machine, which we'll get into. We'll get into those albums for sure. That's a lot of like anti-system, anti-government, anti-establishment. I mean, and I think a lot of this music as a whole has those same kind of themes, but also is a little bit more open about certain topics and certain situations.
Yeah.
It's a little harder to get away with those nowadays, which is fine. It's just a different way of speaking on certain things, which I think is a weird a thing for people in our age group, is because we experience both.
Yeah.
We experience the being able to sit down and have an intelligent conversation about a very hard topic, and no one leaving hating that person.
Yeah.
And now that's a little bit harder, I think. I think it's, bringing up hard topics and especially discussing them into songs or discussing them in general. Somebody's bound to get a feelings hurt or things like that, which, I mean, that's how it is.
Well, art, including music, is all about, like, yes, the artist says their opinion through their piece.
Yeah.
But then it's also about the interpretation.
Exactly.
So it's like, even going back to sex type thing, it's like he's saying something, you could interpret it completely differently.
For sure.
And two sides of the same coin, where it's like he's actually saying ironic, like he's putting like an ironic spin on masculinity to say like, we don't need to be this macho and things
he's almost
like
making, he's making fun of it.
Exactly.
Essentially.
But if you didn't get that, and you were a dude and you were like into that, you could totally listen to it and be like, yeah, we are macho, and
That's
and it's
true.
like
100%.
So it's interesting the way that but that's true of any art. It's like if you're not really peeling back the layers, you may not understand their intention in your own interpretation.
Well, and not that song specifically, but I think that that's the reason why everybody likes music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that you can take what you want from anything.
Absolutely.
And I think that, even just, physical art and, musical art, it's the same way. So, anyways, here we are rambling
Wicked
again.
Garden.
Wicked Garden.
I really like
Blah, blah, blah.
blah, blah. And you?
Wicked Garden.
I like Wicked Garden a lot. I think that it's a great jam. I think that it just feels easy to listen to, which
Yeah.
I like, especially in this genre of music where sometimes it can be a little jarring, and that's part of the presentation of it.
Yeah.
But this felt very easy listening. I like what they're trying to say. I like the imagery it evokes. So I would like the people to listen to Wicked Garden.
Man, 3 in a row.
I know.
I love it.
So everyone, here is Wicked Garden by Stone Temple Pilots.
All right. Welcome back. That was Wicked Garden by
Stone Temple Pilots.
Stone Temple Pirates.
Pirates.
I was hoping you would say it.
Our new band. That's actually the new name of the podcast, Stone Temple Pirates.
Arg, matey.
Arr.
All right, so we're coming right back to the next
No
song on
Memory.
the list is No Memory, which is essentially, I mean, it's not a song. I mean, it is a song. It's an interlude. It's a minute and 20 seconds of just a little bit of guitar. Just
Yeah.
kind of, I think, really, I mean, you've heard the first 3 songs from the album. They're hard-hitting, they're fast, they're in your face, and then No Memory comes straight in and it slows you down. Slows you down a little bit.
I have bad news.
What?
I don't have much to say about No Memory, Sin, or Naked Sunday.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's totally fine. So No Memories, kind of a shorter one. It does lead right into Sin,
Yeah.
which, I mean, Sin is kind of explains itself, really. I mean, I think it's a good song. I'll be completely honest. I'm very biased about this album because I love this whole album.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't pick
I
it
mean,
if
the
I
album
didn't.
is great. I'm trying to think track by track. I'm not sure I have much to say about those.
Sure. I mean, Sin is like, their idea for that one is kind of like, it's focused on like confusion.
Yeah.
It's like not really understanding the world around you, and like the wording of it kind of like interludes to that. And then,
Yeah.
then it leads, well,
Sorry.
there's the intro to it. And then it leads right into Naked Sunday, which Naked Sunday is 1,000% about organized religion.
Yeah.
And you can read it and see it in there. And it's a whole different, I would say Naked Sunday is a whole different vibe than the rest of the album.
Okay.
It's got a lot of, it's very fast paced.
Yeah.
He's got a lot more like talking points than lyrics.
I was going to say that one felt a little more like alternative
Yeah,
to
for sure.
than the rest
Well,
of
they're
the
not.
album.
They're not trying to be grunge.
Right.
I mean, grunge wasn't a thing. So.
Yeah.
So then after that, it goes straight to Creep. What'd you think about Creep?
I liked Creep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I maybe want the people to listen to Creep because we haven't given them something to listen to in a while, and then maybe we talk about it after.
Talk about Creep afterwards?
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right.
All right, so here's Creep by Stone Temple Pilots. All right, that was Creep by Stone Temple Pilots. Slowed it down a little bit for you. I think the wording speaks for itself on that one. I think it's pretty cool. I like, take time with a wounded hand.
Yeah.
It's a really cool lyric.
When you hear the song title Creep, what do you think of?
I don't think of Radiohead because it was way after, if
I
that's
know.
what you're getting at.
I mean, I think like when you say Creep and when I think Creep and
I think of Radiohead.
I think of Radiohead. And not that that's a good or a bad thing.
No,
It's
I
just-
love that song. Radiohead by Creep is amazing, but I think that this one was first.
Yes,
Yeah.
this was.
I think.
But it's like, what's funny is like to us, or at least to me, I heard Creep by Radiohead probably when I was 14, 15. So for me, it came first in my life. And so I feel like when I think about it, it's hard for me to differentiate them.
Oh.
Look who's here.
Good morning.
Hi, do we have like a sleepy little hairball?
He was sleeping on the couch while we were recording.
Yeah.
He just woke up and realized we were here.
Yeah, George just came over for those of you listening.
He got his little hair trimmed. He's got his nice little bandana on.
Yeah, he's got his little Valentine's Day bandana made
Oh,
by
he doesn't have
Bobo
his
Tie.
bed. That's probably why he's
Oh.
upset.
Oh no. Well, I can talk about Creep. You want to get his bed?
Where is Creep? Or where is Creep?
Creep is track 6 or whatever.
I'll grab it once we do the next song.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I like Creep. I think that this whole album kind of tangles together, which I'm sure is what they want it to do. Like, for me, it's hard to see where one song ends and the next begins,
Sure.
which, I mean,
Well,
is a good,
they all have a very similar
cohesive,
sound.
yes, like piece of art.
Yeah.
But I would say this whole middle section kind of takes a dip for me in terms of intensity and in like beat
Stand
and all
out.
of that.
Stand
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
But I think Creep is a great song objectively.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it.
So then we go to Piece of Pie, saying is what you're saying. Like it kind of blends in with you for that one. I like Piece of Pie. I like the whole album though.
I know.
But I've listened to it a million times. You know, this is for like context, like when I got my driver's license when I was 16,
Yeah.
I remember driving to Walmart and buying Core from Walmart.
Ooh.
Like,
first album in your car?
Yeah.
That's huge.
It wasn't the first album I owned, but it was the
Right.
first album that I went and physically bought myself. And I'm pretty sure it got stuck in my CD player
Wow, lucky.
for years. Yeah. So I'm
You want to know what the first CD was in my car?
What?
I'm pretty sure. Kesha.
Wake Up in the Morning Feeling Like P. Diddy.
Yep, that album. Low key, an awesome album.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah.
I've listened to that song. That's about it. I'm sure I've heard a couple more songs.
That
from her,
album is crazy and very synth pop.
but- Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun.
The
I don't know if we'll ever
differences-
do that here. But
The differences in our first 16 albums is pretty wild.
yeah.
I like it though.
It's a good foreshadowing to this moment that we're in
That's true.
currently.
All right, so after Piece of Pie, we have Plush.
Plush, I love.
Okay.
Yeah.
God damn. Thank
I'm
God. Thought I was going to take that ring back from you.
I'm a big Plush girly. I really enjoy the song. I don't know what else to say about it besides the fact that I like it. How about you tell me about your background with it?
It's my go-to karaoke song.
Yeah?
Yes.
Not Creed?
Well, I mean, Creed, obviously. But if I'm not doing Creed, I do Plush. I do the acoustic version of Plush.
Ooh,
Every
okay.
time.
Beautiful.
Which the acoustic version of this song is not on this album. They actually do it on a later album called Thank You, which if you want to get into Stone Temple Pilots, Thank You is another really good album. Purple is another one that's very good. I don't want to do multiple albums on this show. I would do every single Stone Temple Pilots album with Scott Weiland. Hold on now, with Scott Weiland as the singer.
Okay.
Because Scott Weiland has passed, and they did get a new singer, and they have made new albums, and they are what they are, but can't touch Scott Weiland's voice.
Yeah.
And his writing abilities. I think it's a whole different band. I think you would probably enjoy them now. They're a lot more pop.
Really? That's hard to imagine.
Yeah, they kind of sold their souls.
They must be like 50.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, so do you want them to listen to Plush?
Yes, I will say what I like about Plush is it's very like the way he's singing feels very like longing and foreboding, and the lyrics are very whimsical in a way.
I was thinking the word whimsical.
Really?
Yeah, good job.
Like the dogs smelling her and all of that. Like it just feels like you're in like a forest.
It's a great fucking song.
It's fantastic, and I think the people need to listen to it. So here is Plush by Stone Temple Pilots.
All right, that was Plush by Stone Temple Pirates. Welcome back to the Staylist, the show where me, Skylar Anderton, and Sarah Alonzo, soon to be Sarah Anderton, talk about music.
Whoa.
That just first hit your face there.
Oh my gosh. It's
Live.
definitely not the first time that I've thought that, but I
First
think
time
maybe
you've heard
it's
it out loud.
in front of an audience, yeah.
Yeah, in front of the live studio audience of George
Yeah,
asleep on the
George
couch.
is asleep. He don't even know. He's going to be George Anderton. That's the biggest change I'm going to have to make with the vet.
He's not a bastard anymore. He's finally got a dad.
He's got a daddy. Okay, so Going on to Wet My Bed.
Yep. So, Wet My Bed is a poem, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
It's a spoken word, I guess is a better way to put it. Fun fact, Wet My Bed was the first song that they recorded on that album. And if you listen to that song, at the very end of the song, you can hear the producer come into the studio and is like, all right, what's next?
Yeah.
So that was the first thing that they recorded. It was just kind of
cool.
him getting the kinks out, getting
Yeah.
getting it flowing.
I'd like everybody to listen to Wet My Bed.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I think it's a really cool placement in the album. I think it's
I thought you were
interesting.
gonna hate that.
Really?
Yeah, I really
No,
did.
I loved it.
That's awesome.
I thought it was really cool, and I don't think it's something that you can explain.
No, you're
I
right.
think it's something that you have to hear, and this is like, because we're not showing you every single track in order on every album that we're talking about, we want you to hear the ones that are highlights for us, but this feels like a highlight from the album that you just have to know.
Sure, I totally agree on that.
All right, so go ahead and listen to Wet My Bed by Stone Temple Pilots.
All right, welcome back. That was Wet My... Let me start over. All right, welcome back. That was Wet My Bed.
By Stone Temple Pilots.
Where is my cigarette? Where did Mary
Where
go?
did Mary go?
Maybe she's
in the bath. Water washes away.
Maybe she swam away.
Yeah.
He stutters a lot when he's saying maybe she, maybe she. And every time I listen to that part, I'm like, just say it. In my head, I'm like, just
You're impatient.
say it. I am impatient.
You're rushing him.
The spoken word gets me every time. I do love that, though. It is a cool... I'm surprised that isn't higher in the album. Like, track-wise.
I am too, but I guess if this is your debut album, maybe you don't want people to just be like, oh, okay, all right, I like this, and then be like, what is happening?
No, totally agree.
I think that feels like a track that you earn a little bit more.
It either feels like the second song or the song on the very last song with a 2 minute, like 2 minutes of quiet. And then that's behind it.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, the last song would be 9 minutes.
Yeah.
But there would, the last minute and a half would be that.
It also...
It's interesting. It's cool.
It would have been, like, a really cool... When you had to flip vinyl, like, flip records, it would have been a really cool last track on the A side before you flip.
For sure.
Or the first track on the B side after you flip.
No, I agree with that.
Like, in that intermission
would have been
area.
close to that. I don't remember when cassettes came out.
It would have been close to kind of first on the B side.
I mean, they definitely had a record.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yes, you have it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, when you actually built records around the storytelling of, oh, they're going to have to take this off the record player, flip it, and put it back on.
Sure. No, yeah, you're totally right.
And so that dictated a lot of track placement in, like, the 70s.
Sure.
Because they were thinking, okay, they're going to have to take this off, flip it, put it back on. What's a good, almost like a second intro.
Yeah. That's why they put, this is off topic, but Stairway to Heaven, it was on the back of the first, so it's a two record album.
Okay.
It's on the back of this first album, and it's the whole back.
Whoa. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That'll get you.
But anyway, so next song is Cracker Man. Yeah.
I don't have much to say about it.
It's a good song. It's catchy. I mean, he's a man, Cracker Man, along with his shoes.
Oh, they don't even need to listen to it because you're doing such a great job.
Yeah, I could sing the whole song. So yeah, I mean, I like the song. I mean, it's, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then we go to the finale of the album, Where the River Goes.
Where the River Goes is a fantastic ending to the album. It's great. I think it sums up everything that they're trying to say, but it's also hopeful, which doesn't happen much in the album.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
I'm big on it. I think it's a great choice for that last track, and yeah, those are kind of my main notes on Where the River Goes.
Yeah.
But I definitely want the people to listen to it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, here is Where the River Goes by
Stone Temple Pilots.
Pirates. Where the River Goes. All right. That was Where the River Goes by Stone Temple Pilots. The end of the album, sadly, but here we are.
Yes.
So what'd you think of the album as a whole?
I loved it. It felt very much like the last one that you chose. Hi, baby. Oh, George is coming over here.
He's getting a toy.
Oh, yeah, he is. Hello.
Hi, Booger.
So I will say the last album you chose, Days of the New, Yellow Album, I really liked. This felt like that amplified and more in my taste.
Yep.
So I really like the Days of the New album. This I really enjoyed. It was hard for me to pick just a few tracks to add. I had to think about what I wanted to listen to in the car.
Yeah.
There's still tracks on this album that I really liked that I didn't choose for the Staylist. And I will say, like, I will go back and listen to this album.
Well, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah,
So.
I would definitely go back and listen to this in its entirety. I
Good.
really enjoyed it, and I had a great time listening to it.
Well, you don't have a choice because now you're getting married to me and you're going to listen to it at least
Every
57
Christmas.
times a year.
Every Christmas Eve.
That's right.
It's Core by Stone Temple Pilots.
That's right, brother. Hell yeah,
Gather
brother.
around the Yuletide.
So, do you have anything else to say, or do you want to go ahead and go with your pick or picks? Or what do you think? You got anything else?
I'm on the fence about one.
Okay.
I don't know if we should confer or not.
No. We shouldn't confer. I think you should go with your gut on this one.
Okay.
You have the power. Use it.
I am
I wish
choosing.
I had my lightsaber when I was saying that. You have the power. Use it.
I would have felt a lot more
Scared?
pressure.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I will tell you how many tracks
Yes,
I chose.
please.
I chose 4 tracks.
Holy shit. All right.
I wonder if you're going to be a little surprised by this. So in order as they appear on the album, I chose Dead and Bloated,
Yeah, I mean, have to.
Sex Type Thing,
Whoa, okay.
Wicked Garden, and Plush.
And Plush.
I'm really, really sorry that I didn't choose Where the River Goes. I know you love that. I know
It's
you
okay.
love that song.
That's totally okay.
But-
I am totally fine with those 4 picks.
That song
Totally fine with them.
was one that I listened to thinking, this is such a great song. This is such a great ending to an album. If this comes on during a road trip, is it great no matter when it comes on? Like, it's great, but it's like, does it fit the mood no matter when it comes on?
No, I
and
get
that
ya.
didn't.
Sure.
It didn't check that box for me. So
Totally.
that's where I had to make that cut. But yeah, those 4 I'm excited to add to the Staylist.
I am too. I will say Where the River Goes is my favorite song on the album.
I know it is.
Which, nothing wrong with that. And I totally agree with what you're saying about how it's it doesn't fit the bill every time, and it's definitely a different song.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. I think it would be good on a playlist that's not just specifically for driving.
Exactly.
100%.
And that's why I think we have to have the parameters in place,
Yeah.
because it's like some of these songs would be really great on, like, I don't know, a different type of playlist.
For
like,
sure.
I can't think of one right now.
Well,
but-
listen, Dead and Bloated is my second favorite. Might be my first favorite.
Yeah?
So I am, as long as that one made it, I'm totally fine. I love Wicked Garden. I love all those. So.
I'm so glad.
And I will, we'll see. We'll see. We're going to talk about these rules. We've been talking about these rules for a while, but we haven't explained them. For the next episode, we're going to explain these rules that we have of, like, almost Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah, so we're going to, essentially, Skylar and I need to take ourselves out to dinner. Yeah. We need to go and make a list of what we're going to call
a nice seafood dinner.
A nice seafood dinner in February in Indiana.
That's right.
And we are going to make a list of lifelines. I think the first few episodes, like where we're in now, it's fine that they haven't been introduced because I think we needed some baseline baseball happening. But now we're going to kind of throw some interest in where maybe we'll be able to phone a friend. Maybe we'll be able to pull a song from another album in the past.
Yep. We've talked about a couple options.
Yes, and you would only have a limited time to do that. Essentially, we're going to lay it all out for you at the beginning of the next episode.
Yeah.
Once we determine exactly what that looks like.
Well, and the reason I bring that up is because Plush on this album is a great song. It's not the best version, though.
I know.
So I almost want to... I don't know. We'll figure that out.
We'll think about it.
Yeah, I might use a lifeline for Plush though, because I do love the acoustic version 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it fits your bill for
the driving.
So
and it's my song. It's
exactly.
my choice.
Yeah. So.
But that being said, I'm excited to induct these 4 tracks into the Staylist to join some heavy hitters from other albums we've done already.
God, me too.
And that being said, now that we've talked about the album, what is a piece of culture that you've been consuming lately outside of this album?
Pal World.
Oh gosh.
Pal
I should
World.
have known.
It's a new video game that just came out. It's called PAL, PALWORD. It's essentially a ripoff of Pokemon.
Yep.
It's very fun. It's a good time. It's it's what Pokemon games could have been when I was 14. You know, like they had the ability to do this open world, like use your Pokemon whenever you want, catch as many of them as you want, have them like build things for you, and it's cool. It's cool. It's a cool concept.
You know what's interesting?
It's interesting.
I always loved the Pokemon show.
Yeah. For sure.
The game always felt very stop and go to me.
Well, it's a turn-based game. So
right,
yeah.
which I'm not big on turn-based games.
Yeah.
So I never got super into the Pokemon games.
Well, they're hard to get into. And they've done the same thing for 20 plus years. They're finally starting to get out of that a little bit. They're doing more of like open worlds kind of.
I think you have to at this point.
Well, I mean, now they're going to.
Yeah.
The Pokemon company's been trying to sue this company, and it's
really?
been all kinds of, yeah. I think there was 19 million copies of this game bought in the first 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Which is like wild.
Yeah.
Big time wild. I think it was.
I'm doing the math.
12 million on computer.
Whew, I have to sneeze.
Oh.
It won't happen.
Do it.
Just keep going.
Sneeze for the people. Show them that cute little sneeze.
No.
But no, 12 million copies on computer and like 7 million on Xbox. They didn't even put it on PlayStation or Nintendo or anything, and for them to sell 19 million, and it's like a.
And you know what? If it was on the Switch, I probably would play it.
Yeah, I actually
really
would. I think I'd play it more if it was on the Switch. Yeah. I've been really into my Switch lately.
I know.
It's nice to sit on the couch and play it and hang out.
Yes.
But so what about you?
So I finished Fourth Wing, which is what I talked about last time, and the book I was reading. And now I'm reading the sequel called Iron Flame.
Nice.
And so far I'm like 20 pages in, but the Fourth Wing ended on a big like cliffhanger. And so Iron Flame is beginning by ironing out some things that maybe you didn't understand at the end.
Oh, nice.
So far it's been really good. I'm excited to see what happens. I've heard that the second one isn't as good as the first, but
it's pretty common.
I know. Yeah, it's kind of par for the course. Yeah. So I'm excited to be reading that, and then I have more fantasy books on my list for the rest of the winter.
I actually started a quart of, what is it?
Thorns and Roses?
A quart of Thorns and Roses. I started the audiobook of it today, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I did on my drive for work.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, I didn't get very far into it, 30 minutes or so, but.
But that's huge. Yeah. You've met Feyre.
Yeah. Yep. I'll probably need to re-listen to it because I was kind of, wasn't paying attention too much. Yeah. Traffic was bad and
daydreaming,
stuff. But,
thinking about me.
But no, I did start that and it was really cool. Yeah, thinking about you. But so that really wraps up everything we have for this show tonight.
I have to choose my album.
Oh my God. Holy crap. That doesn't wrap up everything we have for tonight.
So this week we did Core by
Yep.
Stone Temple Pilots. And that was Skylar's pick. So I get to choose next week's album, which is Guts by Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay.
Now I will say, and no matter what happens, we're going to do Guts by Olivia Rodrigo. We are recording this on February 2nd.
Uh-huh.
It's a Friday night.
What's happening?
The Grammys are in 2 days.
Okay.
I have a feeling that Taylor Swift could announce
Oh God.
the re-recording of her 2017 album Reputation.
Oh.
That does not mean that it's going to drop necessarily. It just means that she could announce a release date. If that happens, just know that Reputation will be coming soon.
Oh. So are you saying that it might be?
I'm just saying, like, it will seem insane if she announces Reputation and then a week later we talk about Guts, because we should be talking about Reputation.
Oh, I see
you know
what
what I
you're
mean? But
So
just know that nothing has been announced.
Yeah.
And so in the trajectory of what I want Skylar to listen to pop-wise, we're going Lorde, we're going Miley kind of pop-punk phase. Now we're going into Olivia, big pop-punk girly. And believe me, we would have gotten to Reputation eventually. If there is a big announcement, that might get pushed up a little bit. But
I see.
I'm all over it. This is more for the Swifties out there. I'm
Sure.
all over it. I'm in the Swiftie-verse.
Oh,
I don't want them to be worried.
She's deep in the Swiftie-verse. So.
But I also have this theory that I don't think that she would want to overshadow the Super Bowl and Travis's moment by announcing it.
I guess we'll see.
We'll find out.
All
Not
right,
that it's
so
overshadowing. They're both successful in their own way.
That's right.
Okay.
So it's either Guts.
It is Guts.
Oh, it is Guts. Okay.
Definitely. I just feel like I don't want
Just in case.
everyone else to be talking about Reputation and then we're talking about Guts. I know Reputation could be happening.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But I can't choose it without. That's not what I would have chosen next. And I'm trying to be as organic as possible.
I gotcha. Okay.
You know.
So I have heard a couple songs from Guts.
And
I enjoy it.
I knew you
I haven't
would.
enjoyed the whole album. I haven't seen or listened to the whole album, but obviously you've played quite a bit, like while we're cooking and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I dig her sound. And
Good,
stuff.
I'm
So
glad.
I'm ready to show the people that one.
yay!
Deep dive into that one. That'd be cool.
I think they're really gonna.
I think
like it.
I think we're starting to kind of play into each other a little bit too.
Yeah,
sure.
I feel like Guts is an album. It came out while we were dating, because I think it came out in August. And I remember listening to it
yeah.
and thinking, like, this is actually a whole album that I think Skylar would like.
Yeah.
That is more like traditionally pop. I'm using air quotes.
Yeah, from what I've heard, I've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I haven't really dove into it or anything yet. But
Well, and I almost chose her first album, Sour, but Sour is a little. I like Sour a lot. Sour is a little one-themed. Guts feels a little more pop and punk and like rock and
Yeah. Cool.
It's fun. Okay, so that being said, we also want you guys to know where to find us on social media. If
Yep.
you want to follow us on Instagram or Facebook, TikTok, we are at The Staylist Show. And if you want to email us, you can email us at thestaylisshow@gmail.com.
Yep.
And when
We also have questions on these
Spotify.
episodes. Yeah, so if you're listening on Spotify, we have Q&As or polls or anything like that. If you kind of, while you're, click on the episode, before you start playing it, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a question, or if you want to comment in that, or if you want to respond to that, or whatever we have.
Yeah.
We've been getting quite a bit of those lately. It's been fun.
and
we love seeing all the interaction with it.
When you guys, whether it's on social media or on Spotify or on YouTube, when you guys engage or you share it with your friends, that is huge for us. It gives us a lot more traffic, engagement. It tells the platforms to show us to more people.
Yeah.
So if you feel so inclined, please share and like and comment and subscribe and follow and whatever else you need to do.
You guys have been doing really good on Spotify so
Yeah.
far. Spotify's been our biggest platform, I would say.
Yeah, so
The
thank
YouTube
you.
videos are doing great too, but Spotify, I mean, it's going good.
Yeah.
We're enjoying it. We're having fun, and if you guys are enjoying it, then we're enjoying it, and it just it makes it it's a circle.
It's a circle.
It's a circle.
They're symbiotic relationships.
That's right.
So, by the next time you see us, Skylar's stuff will be moved in. We'll
Completely.
have Listen to Guts. We'll have better Lifeline rules made up. We're going to be a whole new people. We're not going to be in our pajamas. So
We might be in our pajamas.
That's true. That's probably not going to change.
This might be just a norm. We might just be in our robes.
Go back and
We
watch
should get them
episode
branded
1.
with the logo.
With the logo.
Okay, that's what we're going to do.
All right, we're on it.
Yeah.
All right, you guys enjoy your week, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening.